craze. You're with Chris Coleman on the morning program. Jill is back next week. Have you got into the CrossFit craze? Chances are you know someone who has, and if you're a bit like me and a little bit on the lazy side, do you feel put to shame by them? Now, if you don't know what CrossFit is, it's a strength and conditioning program with a lot, and I mean a lot, of squats and chin-ups and weight training. And next week, a team from Newcastle is heading to America to compete in the World CrossFit Games. Local woman Kylie Brand suffered from a hip problem since birth, which has caused her chronic pain and limited her movement. In fact, before CrossFit, she said she could barely walk without being in pain. But the program has turned her life around. 12:33's Ellie Lawford met Kylie and had a chat to the team that's off to America with their coach Jamie, who explained the benefits of this popular exercise program.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
What we do is we train to increase people's work capacity. For someone who's a little older, it can be just being able to pick up their grandkids a little easier and being able to make their bed with a little bit more comfort. Well, we had one lady who had a degenerative hip disease said to me once that her greatest achievement is being able to clean out her shower recess without having to sit down on her backside. So she can actually sit down at the bottom of a squat and clean without the humility of sitting down. It was one of the greatest moments I've had as a coach.
And was that why you got into training people in CrossFit in the first place?
Definitely. I'd had a number of injuries that I'd collected over the years from sport, and I'd pretty much tried everything as far as training to rehabilitate myself, and got to the point where physicians were more interested in medicating and steering clear of areas that I needed, like my hips and knees, as opposed to helping me rehabilitate. And I found CrossFit and all the things that was told not to do started me on the path of fitness that I hadn't experienced since I was a young man. So for me, it improved my life so much that I wanted to bring it to as many people as I could.
2 years ago, I went looking for, was looking to decrease pain. I was born with a hip problem and found movement really difficult, and had been having treatment on my hip and was getting really frustrated about the fact I couldn't do any exercise without being in a lot of pain, and had lots of sorts of injections in hip joints and things, and which was great for the pain but didn't really fix the problem. So I was actually told by my doctor to take up swimming because it's no impact on the hip. So I joined the gym and never actually made it to the pool because I met Jamie, he asked me what I wanted to achieve, and I said I wanted to live in less pain and have more movement, and his eyes kind of just lit up and he's like, okay. So, and then he got me into CrossFit.
So what do you do at CrossFit now?
Oh, lots of things. Pretty much do what everyone else does. Lots of squatting. When I first met Jamie, I couldn't even squat. I couldn't even think how it was possible to squat. But now I can do squats and do lots of work with weights and lots of cardio work, just everything that CrossFit is. Lots of functional movement, lots of deadlifts, lots of overhead weights, and yeah, it's great.
What did your doctor say about that?
Well, I haven't really had need to go back to the doctor since I've been doing CrossFit. I go to the doctor for general things, but I haven't needed to go back for any sorts of pain injections or steroid injections or anything like that. So, but my osteopath she's amazed at the improvement that I've made over the last 2 years, and she just keeps telling me to keep going, keep doing what I'm doing.
Would you say that CrossFit has changed your life?
Oh, definitely. I think, I guess before I started, I saw my future as being, I just had these visions of using Zimmer frames and getting around on motorised scooters at a really early age, because I found even things like cleaning the house, cleaning the shower and having to get down on your hands and knees and clean. I just couldn't get up after I'd done that without having things to grab hold of. I couldn't get out of the car without using the door frame of the car, my elbows on the car for assistance. Now I can just do pretty much everything. I'm not saying it's a miracle cure and I'm totally pain-free now or anything like that, but to be able to do things just day-to-day things that you took for granted, like being able to get out of a seat without holding onto the table, you know, and seeing in your future that you might not need a Zimmer frame when you're 50, you know, or whatever.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up, man, 'cause I can't wait much longer.
Personally, and I think I speak on behalf of the team as well, we're just honoured to be given that opportunity. It's a pretty big achievement. I mean, there's over 200 teams in the Australia and New Zealand region that we're gunning for this, and we were fortunate enough to have, you know, a well-balanced team, and the workouts go in our favour on the day, and we're just embracing the opportunity and hopefully enjoy every minute.
And what are you most nervous about?
You almost want to say the unknown, but that's what we train for. So at the moment, it's just the hype of going to the games, I think, that makes me nervous, being around all these elite athletes, I suppose.
Would you guys call yourself elite athletes now?
Definitely not. No way.
And you heard there from Lucas Nadiotos and Brad Campbell, who are part of the 6-person team going to America next week for the World CrossFit Games. Their coach, Jamie Johnson, and Kylie Brand, a woman who has transformed her life with the CrossFit exercise program. That story put together by our 1233 cadet, Eliana Lawford, and we wish the team all the best in the States.
You're listening to Chris Coleman.